After several months of agonizing wait, Beesmas 2021 has finally arrived and given us a ton of new content. A lot of it is kind of confusing, and I was overwhelmed myself at first. Therefore, I am making this video to talk about everything added in the latest BSS update and explain how they all work. Check the description for timecodes if you want to skip ahead to see how something specifically works. If you enjoy, make sure to like and subscribe for more videos on Bee Swarm Simulator, and let's get started. First, we will look at Beesmas 2021. There isn't much to talk about here as it is almost entirely recycled from 2020. Bee Bear has returned and he will give a cub buddy upon completing 15 quests. If you already have one, he will give you a star treat. Right now he only has 10 in-game, but Onett will add the rest very soon. He will also get another questline for a new cub buddy skin in the Part 2 update. Like last year, the NPCs around the map have special quests that unlock Beesmas decorations. However, not all the bears have their Beesmas quests, and Onett will add the quest for Onett, Gummy Bear, Dapper Bear, Honeybee, and Spirit Bear very soon. Also, you will be able to get gift boxes around the map when you finish the decoration quests. You can also give presents to the bears, which will give you special rewards along with an ornament on the Beesmas tree. Make sure to stay tuned for tutorials on how to complete the Beesmas quests for the harder NPCs. Now let's talk about the new bees. The update added two brand new mythic bees, the blue buoyant bee and the red precise bee. The buoyant bee spawns in balloons that collect an additional amount of pollen, basically an extension for your backpack. Once the balloon fills up, it goes to your hive. When converting at your hive, it will give you bonus capacity and honey at your hive for an hour. When gifted, the bee unlocks a special ability called Surprise Party, which summons golden balloons for all players, and then also causes all balloons to spawn random ability tokens. I think this ability is currently broken because I've never seen any golden balloons and I don't know what this ability is talking about, but we'll have to wait and see. We'll also get 1.2 times capacity when the bee is gifted, so make sure to get it gifted if you can. The other bee in this update is called the Precise Bee. The bee has a target practice ability where it flies into the air, then shoots 3 times onto the field. And there are multiple different outcomes for this ability. If you don't catch any of the shots, they just spawn red boost tokens. If the bee is gifted and you catch the farthest shot, it spawns a precise mark which gives extra critical chance and super crit chance. I think this ability is also broken because I haven't seen any precise marks yet. If you touch all 3 marks, all ability tokens will be collected and you will get plus 2% super crit chance for 1 minute. It will also give you 3 critical tokens. Super crits can only occur for critical hits and gain times 2 power and 100% instant conversion. Okay, I know that was a lot, but trust me, it's gonna look a bit more confusing. Easily the biggest feature added in this update are the planters. You use them by placing them in a field and waiting for them to grow, then you harvest them when they finish growing. If you use a glitter in the field that your planter is in, it will grow 25% faster. Planters reward several fruits and crafting materials along with a buff called Nectar. Here's a very nice chart that illustrates the different types of planters, where they are best effective, and their rewards. I recommend pausing and taking a picture of this chart to reference when you are boosting. You can buy better planters around the map. Most of them can be bought at Dapper Bear's shop in the tent area, but others can be found elsewhere. Now I've seen a lot of players asking this, so let me clear up a couple of things. Every planter you buy is permanent and you can reuse them forever, except for the paper, ticket, and festive planters, which go away when you use them. With that being said, now let's talk about Nectar. If you are in the same field as your planter, your bees will go to it and they will give you some nectar buffs. You can actually save and store your nectar in a special container in the 30 area for later use, which I recommend if you are prepping for a mega boost. Here's another great chart that showcases the different types of nectar and where they are best effective. Now let's discuss Puffshrooms. Puffshrooms have a decent chance of spawning from a planter, and they naturally spawn every now and then. Puffshrooms are kind of like mini sprouts. You need to collect close to them and they will give you items. When you destroy a Puffshroom, it will spawn a couple of spores that will spread to other fields and spawn even more Puffshrooms. The more Puffshrooms you defeat, the higher level they become and the better rewards they will give. Like sprouts, there are different tiers of Puffshrooms that can spawn. There are normal, rare, epic, legendary, and mythic Puffshrooms. There is no way to get these intentionally, and they are all random. Every wave of Puffshrooms lasts for 5 minutes, so you need to use your time wisely and get them as high of a level as possible. Puffshrooms are really important for collecting new items, which we will discuss right now. The update added many new items which are really important for gameplay and crafting. First, let's discuss the Whirly Gig. The Whirly Gig can mainly be obtained through rhino beetles and teleports you back to your hive. The honeysuckle can mainly be obtained from ladybugs, and it converts some of your pollen into honey, so it's basically a mini microconverter. We also got new upgraded versions of field dice, the smooth dice, and loaded dice, both of which can be crafted in the blender. Smooth dice boosts 2 random fields instead of 1, both of which will be times 2 boosts. The loaded dice gives times 3 boosts for each field. Waxes are items that are used to change the stats of Beequips. There are 4 different waxes. The first type is the swirled wax, which is guaranteed to change the stats of a Beequip. The second kind is the soft wax, which is guaranteed to improve the stats of a Beequip. The third kind is the hard wax, which has a 60% chance to improve a Beequip. Lastly, we have the Cowstick Wax. This item has a 25% chance to improve Beequips, but there is a much larger chance that it will destroy Beequips. Finally, there is also an item called Turpentine, which copies the stats of a Beequip. Waxes can be obtained through planters, specifically the red planter, along with defeating Puffshrooms. Now, I don't recommend using the waxes for Beequips yet, as the planters and the new collectors heavily rely on waxes. Speaking of which, let's talk about the new collectors. The update added 3 brand new collectors, but be warned, these are not for just mid-game players. The first collector we will look at is the Tide Popper. This collector can be found in the Blue HQ and costs several materials along with 2.5T. Now be warned, you also need to complete 250 Bucko Bee quests to obtain this tool. Next, let's discuss the Dark Scythe. The Scythe is available in the Red HQ and, like the Tide Popper, costs 2.5 trillion honey to purchase along with a ton of other materials. Similar to the Tide Popper, the Scythe requires 250 Riley quests to be completed before purchase. The third collector added is the Gummy Baller. The Gummy Baller costs 5 trillion and is found in the Gummy Bear layer. Onet wanted to add a quest line from Gummy Bear that you needed to complete if you want to purchase the tool, but he will implement that in a future update. Wow, that was a lot. This update is huge, and what's even crazier is that it's not even done yet. Onet will be releasing the rest of it over the next month, so make sure to like and subscribe if you want to stay up to date on Bee Swarm Simulator update news. Anyways, stay safe and have a good grind.